over to Mike Brown from BrainZooming, but again, thank you all so much for being here and for the hard work that you're doing.
All right. So who was here in October? Okay, so a good number. I was going to say you all did this. So some of you did it and then some other people did it for you. But one of the things that we did back in October was to look at the report that was done, and it's out on the website, coming out of the Digital Inclusion Summit in 2014, the 9 themes that came forward from the community about what did the participants there see about digital inclusion, what needed to be addressed, sort of what was the scope of it, not so much top down, but hearing from people who are working at it, who are in the digital divide, really a pretty diverse group of people. We summarized that into 4 areas that we looked at in October and November. So basically overcoming barriers to digital access and skills adoption. So what are the things standing in the way beyond just technology availability or technology understanding that preclude people from being more digital and in the opportunities that that offers? Raising awareness was the second one in terms of both the need for the broader community to support this, the importance of it within the community, but really the things that were out there and available. And we're going to sort of build off of that with what we'll do today. That was one of the big themes that came out was, we're hearing all these things, why don't we know about them more? Third was in broadening participation across the community, that beyond the group of nonprofits and governmental organizations, how do we reach out and bring in other parties? I mean, I thought it was interesting as you're talking about, I've got people who are looking for jobs, or I've got jobs and how do you place it? That was one of the things that came out of there as well was, there's a difference between nonprofit interests and commercial interests of who wants to hire the newly digital literate. So this area of broadening participation and then connecting people, making sure that people were tied into the right programs, they had the skills, and there was match up that was working. Again, we'll do a little bit of that piece today as well. I don't know if anybody from the steering council wants to talk about those, or no. Okay. Just thought. So, and I think everybody should have gotten a copy of this when you came in, or if you don't. This is basically, in those 4 areas, we asked a number of questions in October to say, here's where we started from coming out of 2014, 2015. What's still relevant and what's changed in each of these areas since that time to sort of refresh that perspective. What do you think some of the priorities might be for 2017? What's going on within organizations? What are the things that need to move this ahead? This one I think is always an important question. Are there other people that we should reach out and involve? Because you get a certain number of people in the room, but I was impressed already. A lot of you are involved in multiple organizations. You've got multiple contacts. So even if that organization isn't in the room, can you bring that perspective to the table? This is my calendar really wants to come up very badly. Thank you. So that, we'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm going to depend on you today as well to sort of bring that perspective of, you may be here representing one organization or 2 or 3 organizations. Bring all that to the table with what we're trying to capture today, and there's also some additional ideas. So you've got these sheets on overcoming barriers, raising awareness, broadening participation, and connecting people. So this is really just a distillation of the conversations and the notes that were taken in October, and I think you all worked on it in November a little bit more as well. And that's really at the heart of what we want to try and do is, there's an opportunity, obviously, when you've got a meeting like this to come together and have great conversations, but a lot of times, one person or 2 people hear those conversations, maybe 3, and then everybody walks out. So what we're going to do today is a couple of exercises to try and capture your input so we can start to add it in beyond these one-pagers about these 4 areas and get a little bit better sense of, across the organizations in the community, where's the priorities, where are you feeling pain points in these areas, and then what programs do you have in the works or already ongoing that are starting to hit in these 4 areas, so that hopefully coming out of today and taking a look at that and getting more participation, start to get a pretty nice little map or a data set of, here's where the emphasis is, here's where the energy is within the community across these 4 areas. So we're going to do 2 exercises in the time that we've got left, and I didn't grab, Eric, grab yours. So Does anybody have these sheets? This is a one-pager at the top. It says digital inclusion focus areas in your organization. Looks like that. You'll have those. And again, if you're here and you're representing a couple of different organizations, grab multiples of these, or if we don't have enough, just take a piece of paper or write it on the back with another organization as well. But I'd like you to take maybe about 5 or 6 minutes and think about from the organization or multiple organizations you're representing, or maybe just a part of. Maybe you're not representing. So don't be concerned. Well, I'm not the official spokesperson, and I'm maybe not in leadership in that organization. I don't really care. We just want to try and get this input to 2 questions. So across these 4 areas that we talked about, overcoming barriers, raising awareness, broadening participation, connecting people, for the organization you're thinking about, which of these activities is most central to least central for your organization? So if you can put a 1 where, boy, that's right at the heart of what we're doing, to a 4 is, we don't touch it, or maybe it's not that central. And then the second question, which of these activities represent the biggest pain point for your organization? Either that you're trying to tackle, or you have resource challenges, or you're not finding the people that you need to help make these connections. And again, just a 1 to 4 there, what are the biggest pain point to the least pain point? And if you can put your name and the organization, again, we're not going to hold you to this, but it's just a way to come back and ask questions and help understand. And I said, if you've got more than one organization, flip it around and answer for that organization or indicate that as well. So take about 5 or 6 minutes and just think through your one or multiple organizations. What's central to what you're trying to accomplish, and what are your pain points? So, and if you've been in one of our things before, we'll give you a few minutes here and put it on the clock. So, and talk about that among yourselves as well if you want to.